Hey viewers, it's Kara, your host for Tuesdays on the Pagan Perspective. It's March 9th, and this week's topic is prayer. This topic was suggested to us by our old pal Rob, who used to be a member of the Pagan Perspective. You might remember him. Basically, his question was, do we use prayer in our individual practices in any form? How do we use it? How important is it to us? That sort of thing. This is another one of those things where I have a definite opinion on it and I have a definite practice for it, but I'm not sure if it would be different if I had a different religious background. Now, my answer is yes, I do use a form of prayer in my practice, but I think it might be because I was raised Catholic and it's just a habit that comes out of that. I don't know if I would still use the same kind of prayer thing that I do if I had been raised pagan or Wiccan or something like that. I don't know if I would pray if I hadn't already done it as a Catholic. So I don't say the same prayers that I said as a Catholic, obviously, because those don't mean anything to me anymore, but I do still say my guardian angel prayer from when I was little, because I still believe in angels, and I believe that angels are not just a Christian thing. When I remember, it's not like I say prayers every single night before bed. I do say some prayers right before bed if I remember to, but it's not a daily thing. I also know like a general blessings prayer that I say before bed when I remember, and that one is specifically asking the goddess to bring blessings to whomever I list in the prayer. I really believe in things like prayer lists or blessings lists. When my mom used to own a gift shop, we had a book set up in the front that was sort of like a guest book, except it was our prayer list, and anyone who came in who wanted their name added to the list or wanted to add a family member's name to the list or something like that would write down the person's name, and they could put a little comment like, my grandmother because she's sick, or something like that. And then when my mom would do her regular blessings, she would include all of those people's names, either by writing them down or speaking them out loud, and then we would do a whole big sort of prayer thing all at once. And I always thought that was really cool. So I participate in those sort of things if anyone ever does those. Whenever I feel the need to, I sort of just put people's names from my life into like a bedtime blessings prayer or something like that I say. Just, even if there's nothing really going on, I just kind of want to send them a little bit more positive energy. I include them in that sort of thing. Really, I consider prayer and like spellcraft pretty similar, because I mean the act of speaking a spell really is what I mean, not necessarily spellcraft in general, but I think saying a prayer is like speaking a spell. It's the same thing. It's putting it out to the universe, and that's how you get your intention to come to you, is by putting it out. These are the prayer beads that my mom made me. I don't pray with these per se, I meditate with them. I meditate a lot more than I directly pray or anything like that. And these would be sort of equivalent to the Christian, or I guess whatever else calls it, a rosary. And I used to pray the rosary when I was younger because I was in the church classes and we had to learn how to. And my grandma prays the rosary, and I always used to sit with her and do it, and it takes forever. Have you ever prayed the rosary? Any of you that are from like a Christian background? Isn't that just annoying? Like, don't you get tired of it? I don't like it. It takes too long. And then I have to I have to pray it with the little book in front of me because I don't remember what comes next, and like everything means something. So, my grandma, having prayed it since she was however old, she doesn't have to because she just memorizes it, but when it gets to that point, it's like you just say it because your mouth knows what words come next. So you're like, I know whatever words come next when I talk to you, and it like doesn't mean anything anymore because you're just saying words. Now with these, I just kind of hold on to them when I meditate, if I want to meditate on any specific thing that's in here, specific charms to remind me of certain things. So they're called prayer beads, but I don't use them to pray. And this kind of idea also comes from the fact that just like when anything would need to be repeated, a lot of times they would put that many beads on a string to remind them where they are, like if they have to say 10 of a certain prayer or whatever, and that's what happens in the rosary. But it's just an old memory aid kind of thing. But I think this particular one is gorgeous because my mom made it for me, and I really like it. To be honest with you guys, beyond that, I don't really know what else to say about prayer. Because I wasn't raised in a pagan path, I don't know if it's a normal thing for pagans to have a form of prayer or to pray, but I do it, and I've been able to use it in my new path. I've been able to bring it over from my old religion and use it in what I practice now, and I don't think that's a bad thing at all, and I think if it works for you, use it. I want to hear what you guys have to say about prayer, especially if you have never been Christian. I know a lot of you follow the older pagan religions, and that's just always been what you've practiced, and that's all you know kind of thing. Well, it's not all you know, because you do a lot more reading than I do, because you have a lot more time than I do. But I mean, that's all you've ever practiced, that's all you've ever been taught from your family, or maybe things like that. So I want to hear your opinions on prayer, because I don't know if it's a regular thing, or maybe you call it something else. I feel like, personally, a lot of people, just as human beings who worship a god or goddess or something like that, would do something like prayer. You would do something asking your higher beings for help. And that's what I consider prayer. So I think probably a lot of you do it, but maybe you don't. Maybe you don't like the word prayer. I don't know. So talk to me, tell me what's up, and I will talk to you guys next week. Thank you very much, Rob, for the suggestion, and thank you all for watching. Blessed be.